Luffy's awakening. Monkey D. Luffy. And now a lot of people don't understand, but Luffy is a battle genius. We've seen this in his history. Luffy was weak as hell in his young days as a 7-year-old. He got his devil fruit. People think once he got his devil fruit, he was a monster. That was not the case. Sabo and Ace beat him every single time. And we know that Luffy couldn't even throw a straight punch until he was 14 years old. Luffy is a battle genius, and it took him 10 years to get to that strength that we first seen him in the second chapter, or first chapter, the end of the first chapter. I'm not too sure, I forgot. But yeah, when he finally came out in the sea and defeated that Sea King, started his journey to become the Pirate King. Now, as our journey has gone through the One Piece story, we've seen Luffy get so much new moves, and we know that he's a battle genius, like I said, so he's able to do these new moves after just seeing them. Gear 2nd, remember Balloon was talking about how this guy replicates Zoro so fast, so easy. Gear 3rd, he has evolved his devil fruit. Now, ever since the time skip, we have seen the new world is focusing on haki and how to elevate your haki to the next level. We've seen many occasions where the person who has the stronger haki comes out superior. Now, I'm not saying that the devil fruit was taking a hit. We still have to evolve our devil fruit and get new moves, but haki was of big importance in the new world. And this is why the Luffy versus Doflamingo fight is one of my favorite fights. It had a mixture of both haki and devil fruit and evolving both of these levels. We had Gear 4th out of nowhere, Luffy using all that haki stated by law, and Luffy getting that new form of his gears, because gears is based on his devil fruits, combining that, the power it had, the speed, it was crazy, remarkable, it was insane. And in that same fight, we see Luffy clashing with Doflamingo on their Conqueror's Haki, Armament Haki, Observation Haki. This was a battle of top tiers. Well, I can't really say top tiers, but near to top tiers. Two monsters in the new world, I would say so myself. And they were going at it, going all over Dressrosa. But yes, Gear 4th was very interesting. I love how Luffy evolved his devil fruit. But speaking of devil fruit, this video is about awakening. Doflamingo brought back awakening. Yes, awakening. It wasn't the first time it was said, but this is the first awakening from a paramecia we see in the entire One Piece series that was confirmed. Yes, I say confirmed because I will talk about this later in the future. You see out of nowhere, Luffy's like, what is this guy, a Logia? What's he doing? Doflamingo has his strings coming from the ground. It's amazing. Pretty much explained that he can really pretty much the environment around him, well, not the environment, but the island around him, he has strings coming out of there. It's seemingly look like a Logia power because how crazy it was. And Doflamingo showing this is the next step. You're nothing. This is awakening. Once you get to that awakening level, it's rare. Once you get to that level, then come talk to me, yo. This is the big goons, the big shots. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but the first time actually awakening was mentioned was in Impel Down. Yes, it was mentioned by Crocodile, which is very interesting. And he says that these awakened Zoans, the jailers in Impel Down were awakened Zoans. And you see them, they're acting so animalistic, even though they're humans and they had their devil fruit awakened, so it's just crazy. So definitely the first time it was mentioned in Impel Down by Crocodile. Like I said, it was brought by Crocodile, and Crocodile, the interesting thing about him is Crocodile brought up awakening, but where did he learn awakening? I have a huge theory thinking that Crocodile was actually an awakened devil fruit user. Now, people have debated with me, they have fought with me, and the reason why I say that Crocodile is an awakened devil fruit user is, first of all, in the Alabasta fight, a lot of people are angry that Crocodile did not have haki. I personally think that he didn't have haki, but I feel like his devil fruit mastery was at a whole nother level. The whole of Alabasta, ever since he came there, had no rain. As soon as he's defeated, rain starts falling. What can that be leading up to? Maybe his devil fruit mastery was such at a crazy level that he actually stopped rain from falling down in Alabasta. I also want to bring up this. In his fight, his first fight with Luffy, he says that this is the grand line, yo. He has mastered his devil fruit. He's talking about how crazy his devil fruit is, and you see many other attacks. I remember him making everything around him turn to sand. Like Crocodile, he was crazy in his power. I feel like his Logia devil fruit awaken involves the environment. Yes, the environment in itself. Punk Hazard. Yes, I'm talking about Punk Hazard. Two people fall on this island, Aokiji and Akainu. These two are both Logias, and I definitely think both these characters have awakened their devil fruits. And the reason why that island was split half of magma and ice, and the environment itself was different. Like one ice was like a snowy island, other place was a heat, hot, volcanic island. So I'm telling you right now, these awakened Logia users, I feel like they involve the environment just like how Crocodile did in Alabasta. The same thing was done by Aokiji and Akainu, and it's incredible. Now, I'm talking about right now, Crocodile, Akainu, Aokiji, these are not confirmed awakened moments, but these are my theories, my predictions. Another character I want to talk about is Magellan. Yes, Magellan. Well, the thing about Magellan is he uses forbidden attack, Hell's Judgment, and this attack was ferocious. Someone would touch this poisonous, and then out of nowhere they touch an away and it would transfer to that inmate. What kind of poison infection does this? It was insane. Everybody could not fight this. They ran away from this. And I feel like the reason why he was hiding this is because this might have been awakened for a paramecia. Now that's interesting. I brought up that him and Doflamingo are paramecia, and so is Luffy. But wouldn't that mean that Luffy would do the same thing with his rubber skin? Now this video, I've been talking about other things, but this video solely is about Monkey D. Luffy, the main character, the future Pirate King. And what Luffy has done this whole series is surprise us. So I will make my feeling of what I feel like Luffy's awakening is, and I definitely think that I wouldn't be surprised if it's something drastically different. But after seeing the evidence throughout the whole series, this is what I think Luffy's awakening is. Like I brought up, Doflamingo, who used awakening in Dressrosa, and Magellan, who I think might have used awakening in Impel Down. Both these characters are paramecia, and both these characters the places around them were affected by their devil fruits. You see Doflamingo taking strings from the ground. We see Magellan making people infected, like he used Hell's Judgment and it would affect everywhere. It was crazy. But the thing about the difference between these characters and Luffy is Luffy's actual body is his devil fruit. That's what's unique about Luffy, and it's not really unique because other characters like that, but when it comes to these three characters, that's the difference between Luffy and Doflamingo and Magellan. Luffy, instead of manipulating what's around him, he will actually emerge in the island itself, or the place where he is itself. And if he's fighting someone, I'll give you an example. If he's fighting Kaido, out of nowhere, he can come behind him. He can go on the left of him. He can go to the right of him. He's gonna actually be in the island in itself, and it's gonna be drastic with the power he can do with this. It's gonna hype up his speed. It's gonna be kind of like instant transmission if you want to bring that up. And I'm hyped to see Luffy actually use Awakening. I believe this was gonna happen. I could be wrong, but this is my theory, prediction, and that's pretty much it. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think Luffy's power of Awakening is gonna be? Do you have a different theory? I know a lot of people have been talking about reverse gear, fear fifth, but I thought I'd do a video on Awakening, what Luffy could be, and I have other videos planned on different characters and their evolved awakening, so stay tuned for that. Like and share if you enjoyed, like and share only if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more One Piece videos. I'm the Legend Mac, and I'm gone.